We weren't even gonna stop, and I would just message him and be like, sorry, it was too creepy, I didn't want to stop and get murdered. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a horror DVD haul. Before I get into the haul, I want to tell you the story of how I acquired these DVDs. So this all started because I watched the movie Suspiria last week and I decided that I just needed to get this movie. And Sam, also known as the Macabre Spirit here on YouTube, had mentioned the store Sonic Boom in Toronto in her last video. And because I was going to Toronto already on the weekend, I decided to go to the store to check it out. So I went to Sonic Boom on Saturday, and Sonic Boom sells all kind of different music things. So they sell CDs, vinyl, t-shirts, and they also sell movies. So I ended up finding Suspiria there, but the only copy they had was a used DVD and it was $20, and me being really cheap, I decided that was too expensive. And for some reason I didn't think to look it up online, because afterward, once I left, I tried to find it online and I realized that it's not the easiest movie to find. So then I was just like totally regretting not buying it. So I kind of looked online on like eBay and different things like that. And then I checked Kijiji. So for those of you that are not in Canada, Kijiji is basically a website where you can list things that you want to buy or sell. So it's basically like Craigslist. So I just searched for Suspiria in all of Ontario, and someone posted the movie and it said like 23 hours ago, and it was posted in Hamilton, which was on our drive home the next day. So I messaged the seller, he said it was still available, so I let him know that I am driving that way tomorrow and if he could meet up with me, and he said yes. And it was only $10, so I definitely didn't mind making a stop on my drive home from Toronto. He also had a few other DVDs for sale. Some of them I already had, and then I also saw that he was selling Tales from the Crypt, so I let him know I was also interested in those ones. Since I was stopping anyways, I figured I might as well make it worth my while. Okay, so moving on to Sunday. So this is the day that I was driving home from Toronto. It's about a 3-hour drive, and Hamilton is about a 45-minute to an hour drive, just depending on traffic. So the seller sent his address to me, and I wasn't too familiar with the address. I used to live in Hamilton for a few years because I went to school there, and it was just kind of like on the edge of Hamilton. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I don't mind driving out of my way a little bit. So I started driving, and just to set the scene, it was a really foggy day on Sunday. I'll see if I can insert a picture somewhere here. My boyfriend took a couple pictures along our drive just so you can see how foggy it is. And the house ended up being out in the country, and it was just really foggy, and it seriously looked like a scene out of Silent Hill. It was pretty creepy. Like, we were joking that we weren't even gonna stop, and I would just message him and be like, sorry, it was too creepy, I didn't want to stop and get murdered. And we were just joking that like this guy's probably gonna ask us to like go into his basement to get the movies and things like that. So then we finally found the address and we pulled into the driveway, and I just stopped for like a minute or so because I was taking out my wallet to get the money to buy the DVDs. And then he came out of his house to meet us, and then we got out of the car to meet him. And he was actually really nice, and we started talking to him. And then he gave me the DVDs, we looked them over, I gave him the money, and then we started talking about like our interest in horror movies and things like that. And then he was like, hey, I have a bunch of more movies in my basement that I'd be willing to sell if you guys want to come and check them out. And I just looked over at my boyfriend and I was like, because we had literally just talked about how he was gonna ask us to go into his basement and that he would try to murder us. And then my boyfriend was like, sure, we'll totally go into your basement to look at your horror DVDs. So I was like, okay. But by that time we'd been talking to him and he seemed really cool, so it was all good. So we went into his basement and we took a look at his other DVDs, and he ended up selling us a few more, and he actually gave us a really good deal on all the DVDs, so that was pretty awesome. And then once we bought all of our DVDs, we made it out of the house alive, and then we drove home. So luckily we like didn't get murdered or anything. Anyways, let's get into the haul. So the very first movie I picked up was the movie Suspiria. So this is the movie that I was wanting, so I was really happy that I was able to get it. For anyone that hasn't seen this is a movie that you just have to watch. I just love this story, and there are some really creepy parts in it, and I just love the sets. Like, the set design is so cool in this movie. Like, it's just so pretty, and like the colors they use are just amazing. I'll read the back just in case anyone is wondering what this movie is about. This tale of witchcraft at a German dance academy is one of the most beautiful, dreamlike horror films ever conceived, and quite simply the crowning achievement of a stylistic master director, Dario Argento. Susie Bannion is the film's protagonist, played with wide-eyed naivety by Jessica Harper. Susie is in Germany beginning to attend a premier European dance academy. The first death scene is admired as a classic in horror films, as the victim's initial curiosity and resulting terror are exchanged directly to viewers. In summary, a woman is stabbed, dropped through a skylight, and hung as resulting glass shrapnel claims a second. What happens is not as important as how it is depicted in lighting, framing, manic editing, and score. The result is one of the most technically impressive death scenes in film. The musical score by synth rock group Goblin may be the loudest ever devised, and Argento's Baroque visuals overwhelm the viewer in nearly every frame. So definitely check out Suspiria if you haven't seen it. It is amazing. The next DVDs I got are the Tales from the Crypt series. So I actually got the first 3 seasons. Tales from the Crypt is basically short, creepy stories. They're actually referred to as dead time stories. So on the back of the first season, it says, "Greetings, fiends. Welcome to our first season collection of dead time stories. May all your screams come true." So basically it's short stories, and then we have the Crypt Keeper, who is like the host, so he kind of introduces each episode. And ever since I got these, we've been watching like 1 or 2 every night, so just something fun to watch. And I'm not sure if I've actually seen these before. The first season came out in 1989, so I would have been 1 year old, so I highly doubt I was watching them then. But the theme song is just so familiar, like the intro. I feel like I've seen it before, so maybe I've seen an episode here and there, like reruns. I'm not too sure. I know I haven't seen the first few that we've watched so far, so I'm gonna keep watching and see if I've seen any of the other ones. So this is the first season, this is the second season, and here is the third season. And he gave me all 3 of those for $25. So those are the DVDs that I went there for, and then the next ones are the ones that we got from the seller's basement. So the first of the movies that we got from the basement is Stephen King's Pet Sematary. So this is definitely one of my top Stephen King movies. I absolutely love this movie. And I'm just gonna go ahead and read the back in case anyone hasn't seen this. For most families, moving is a new beginning, but for the Creeds, it could be the beginning of the end. Because they just moved in next door to a place that children built with broken dreams, the Pet Sematary. It's a tiny patch of land that hides a mysterious Indian burial ground with the powers of resurrection. Master of the macabre, Stephen King will take you and the Creeds to hell and back, but the Creeds don't have return tickets. Your tour guide is kindly old Judd Crandall, the neighborhood nice guy who knows the secrets of life but is seen enough to firmly believe that sometimes dead is better. Such a great movie. And the next movie I picked up is Pet Sematary 2. Since I got Pet Sematary and he gave that one to me for $10, he threw in this one for $5. I've never actually seen this one, so I'm not sure how it's gonna be. Sometimes sequels aren't that great. I'll read the back though, because I'm honestly not even too sure what this one is about. Sometimes dead is better, but the shocking terror that plagued Ludlow, Maine in Pet Sematary is still very much alive in this heart-stopping sequel to the 1989 hit film written by Stephen King. After the death of his wife, veterinarian Chase Matthews and his 13-year-old son Jeff moved to Ludlow to rebuild their lives. Antagonized by the neighborhood kids, Jeff befriends another outsider, Drew Gilbert, who lives in fear of his cruel stepfather, Gus. After Gus cold-bloodedly shoots Drew's beloved dog, the boys bury the body in the local Indian burial grounds, a place rumored to have powers of resurrection. When evil is awakened, the boys realize that sometimes you should just let dead dogs lie. Not sure how this one is gonna be, but I'm definitely gonna watch it anyways. If anyone else has seen this, let me know what you think. And the next movie I picked up is Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And this one has kind of a special cover. I don't know what this is called, but it's like you can see it when you turn it a certain way. So that's pretty neat. And I've never actually seen this movie before for some reason, but I've been really wanting to see it. So when I saw it, I was like, yes, definitely need to get this movie. And I'm gonna read the back of this one. Finally, the truth about clowns is out. Beneath their smirky, sinister grins and wildly patterned clothes are clever killers from out of this world. The juxtaposition of their toy store arsenal and malevolent intent proves to be a tasty combination. In this killer entertainment that will leave you fearing these big top creatures for good. A spaceship looking like a circus tent lands in a field near a small town, signaling the attack of deviant, red-nosed, balloon-twisting psychos from another world who plan to annihilate mankind by turning people into cotton candy. Luckily, the town's teen citizenry decides to fight back and teach the cosmic bozos a lesson. But these clowns are no klutzes, turning popcorn, peanuts, and caramel corn into playful but deadly weapons of madcap destruction and mayhem. So that's Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I'm really excited to watch this one. If you've seen this one too, let me know in the comments below what you think. And that one was $20. And now onto the very last DVD, which I was super excited about that he had because I absolutely love this movie, and it is Trick or Treat. This is such an amazing movie, and I actually saw it for the first time back around Halloween. I don't know how I hadn't seen it before, but I absolutely love this movie, and I love Sam. He is just the cutest. I'm not even gonna attempt at reading the back. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like super small on there. So basically it's about a bunch of different storylines that are all happening on Halloween night, and Sam is present in all of these stories. So Sam is just this little guy, and he's dressed in orange, and he has like this burlap type sack on his head. Basically he doesn't like it when people break Halloween traditions, which I think is awesome because I absolutely love Halloween. It is my most favorite time of year. So definitely love Sam, and I love this movie. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It is so good. And I paid $10 for Trick or Treat. So that is everything for my horror DVD haul. Let me know in the comments down below if you've seen any of these movies and what movie is your favorite out of those ones. I'm glad that we survived actually getting these movies, because probably going into a random person's basement is usually not the greatest idea, but this time it worked out for us, so that is always good. So you'll continue to see YouTube videos for me because I'm not dead in someone's basement. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one.